So when the time comes, how to slap someone in the face, someone should learn this from India. Actually, washing away sins with money is a habit of the rich, and it is played at a small level. But if seen internationally, then this game is played at a very big level. However, India knows very well how to deal with these games because recently a summit of COP29 was held. And this is such a summit in which many countries from all over the world participate to discuss how to stop climate change and save the environment. And in this, developing countries were especially targeted, like India, Indonesia, or Bangladesh. All these countries were targeted because these countries are ruining the environment. That is why Western countries passed a resolution in which they talked about collecting a fund of $300 billion and giving it to developing countries so that developing countries can use it to promote renewable energy and can reduce pollution. But you might find it strange to hear that it is $300 billion, which is a very big amount.
As much as the economy of many countries is not. But India outright rejected such a huge fund and told that it will be better if you keep this $300 billion in your pocket. However, India did not reject this $300 billion because we did not need it. Rather, it was rejected because due to this money, Western and European countries want to put the blame on countries like India. What is the complete update and what is the strategy behind it? Let's know in this video. But before moving forward, like this video and subscribe to the World Studio YouTube channel because it helps us a lot. Actually, if we look at today's time, then in all the developed countries, the electricity that is produced in those countries, mostly renewable energy sources are used for that, like nuclear power plant, solar power plant. And apart from this, electricity is produced using wind turbine and water turbine, although coal is also used in some cases, but most of the electricity is generated from renewable sources. So there is no question of pollution in such a situation. But if we look at the other side, countries like India, China, or Bangladesh, and Indonesia, as well as some African countries, which are currently counted in the category of developing countries, all these countries use coal-operated power plants to generate electricity to meet their electricity needs. And you already know that generating electricity from coal means that it is impossible to stop pollution. Because even in today's time, if most of the pollution spreads, then it spreads only due to the generation of electricity from coal. And the second biggest thing is that all the industries and factories that are being operated are mostly operated by electricity. That is, it is a simple thing that electricity is used to meet the needs in all these. A large number of coal-fired power generation plants are being run in India. However, this does not only include India. All the developing countries of the world are dependent on coal-fired power plants. In fact, if we talk about India, India currently has nuclear power plants, in which nuclear power plants with 22 reactors are generating electricity. But there are some developing countries which do not have even a single nuclear power plant. That is why, when climate change is happening globally, from the West to European countries, its allegations are being directly made on developing countries. And no stone is being left unturned to drag India into this. And recently, COP29 was submitted in Azerbaijan, in which about 200 countries participated. Then, whether we talk about Asian or African countries, representative leaders of all these countries, as well as Western and European countries, were present. And the interesting thing is that in this summit, Western countries participated. A resolution was passed that it is a developing country. They will be given a fund of $300 billion so that they can use it to expand nuclear power plants and also work on projects for electricity generated from solar power plants so that climate change can be stopped because it is a huge threat to countries around the world. Right now, after hearing this, everyone will say that they are getting $300 billion, which is more than the economy of many countries. We should take it blindly. But you will be surprised to know that India rejected this fund and said straight away that this fund is not being given, but our respect is being bought with it. Also, Western countries are using this fund to wash away their sins and to show off, because the first thing is that 3 years ago, in this very summit, a fund of $100 billion was passed for developing countries. But till date, That fund has neither been created, nor has any country received a single rupee. Well, if we forget the past and accept the fund of $300 billion, then it is like asking a country to set up a nuclear power plant or a solar power plant. It is that easy, but doing it is much more difficult than that, because the cost of setting up a nuclear power plant alone is in billions of dollars, and the reactors used in it are a far cry. What I mean to say is that India alone is not a part of such a big fund. Rather, China is also being considered a partner in it. Bangladesh is also being considered a partner. Apart from this, all the developing countries are being considered as stakeholders of this fund. What I mean to say is that this fund matters as much as pouring a bucket of water in the ocean. But apart from this, they will throw their sins on the developing countries separately. Because if we see, the pollution that is spreading today is really happening. And climate change is happening. Its main region is not the developing countries. Rather, only two countries, Europe and America, are considered to be the main reason for this. The Industrial Revolution that happened in these countries in the 19th and 20th century caused so much pollution that its effect is being seen in the form of climate change today. Let us tell you that today, the European and American countries have caused 100 times more pollution than the pollution created by India and China together in the 19th and 20th century. And the result of that is that climate change is being seen rapidly today. That is why the burden of sin that is on their head, they want to put it on the developing countries by giving them a little fund. And at the same time, they want to put the entire blame on these countries. That is why India also said directly that if you want to wash away your sins, then wash them properly and create a fund of not $300 billion, but about $2.5 or $3 trillion. Only then. We will think once, and not only India but the rest as well. The developing countries have directly rejected this fund. What do you people think right now? Did India take the right decision by doing this or not? Do share your opinion in the comments and by liking this video. Do share it with your friends so that they can also get the information. To see more such updated videos, subscribe to World Studio YouTube channel. Thank you.